Lagos, Nigeria, 3:14 a.m. Kola sat on the edge of his mattress, sweat slicking his forehead despite the loud hum of the standing fan. His phone buzzed under his pillow. 12,000 naira left. Rent due. Sister in the hospital. His boss had just cut his hours. He stared at the phone screen. Then at the paper in his drawer. A crumpled name. A number. Baba Elere, Iperu, Ogun State. He'd gotten it from a friend at the baiting shop who now drove a Benz. Ogun State. 3 days later, Iperu was quiet. Too quiet. The air felt thick with secrets. The shrine was buried in the bush. No signposts, no path, only whispers and a thick perfume of old blood and herbs. Baba Elere was waiting. His eyes were white, rimmed with red, and his mouth never fully closed. "You want touch money, Abi?" he rasped, smiling with all his teeth. "Oh, won't la. But you must give one thing." "What?" Kola asked. "My blood? Number your reflection." The ritual was long. Screams. Chants. A goat's head buried in the ground upside down. At the end, Baba pressed a thin iron rod into Kola's chest, burning a strange mark into his skin. "From today, no mirror, no reflection, no selfie, no water face. The day you see yourself, you go die before nightfall." Back in Lagos, 1 month later, it worked. Kola had cash, lots of it. No job, but everything was paid for. Club tables, hotel keys, even his mother's hospital bill. He wore shades at night and avoided selfies like the plague. People called him mysterious. He smashed every mirror in his flat. Used only matte black windows. He even told his barber to cut him blind. It was easy, until it wasn't. The first glimpse. He was walking through Ikeja Mall when he turned the corner too fast. And there it was, a promotional mirror outside a perfume store. Before he could blink, he saw himself. But something was wrong. His reflection wasn't mimicking him, it was smiling. He turned and ran. The countdown begins. He tried everything, salt circles, dry gin libations, burning the shirt he wore that day. Nothing worked. The moment he looked into the mirror, the curse activated. He could feel it crawling on his skin like fire ants. He heard whispers in his ears as he drove. "We see you. You broke it. Sunset is final." At 4:12 p.m., his tires burst, both front ones. At 5:03 p.m., all calls from his phone stopped going through. At 6:44 p.m., his shadow began moving slightly out of sync. The final hour, he raced to the third mainland bridge, trying to lose whatever followed him. But even the ocean below reflected his face, distorted and laughing. He ran to a church. The doors wouldn't open. By 7:30 p.m., every reflective surface began to show only him. No one else. Not the priest. Not the beggar. Just him, smiling wider every time. By 8 p.m., Lagos lights flickered. And at 8:14 p.m., the last person to see Kola alive was a conductor who claimed he saw the young man's reflection walk away from him in a tinted bus window, while the real Kola stood still, eyes wide in terror. When they blinked again, he was gone. Weeks later, a new tenant moved into Kola's flat. One night, while brushing his teeth, he caught a second reflection behind him in the bathroom mirror. It smiled, waved, then whispered, "Never look twice." Samuel Adebie was a junior architect trying to escape the chaos of Lekki rent. So when a listing appeared for a freshly vacated mini flat in Yaba, cheap, furnished, and no agent fee, he moved fast. The landlord barely said a word. Previous tenant left everything. Some mirrors were broken. "You can fix them, Abi?" Samuel just nodded, eager to sign. The mirror in the bedroom. He noticed it on the third night. A tall, antique mirror behind the bedroom door, covered in a faded Ankara cloth. He didn't remember seeing it the first 2 days. Curious, he pulled the cloth off. The mirror was cold, heavy. The glass had a strange sheen, like oil floating on water. His reflection looked normal, but the longer he stared, the more it lagged, almost like a buffering video. When he blinked, his reflection didn't. It smiled. A whisper before dawn. At 3 a.m., a woman's voice whispered in his ear, "Don't look again. It sees you now." He jumped out of bed. The flat was empty. No one had keys but him. When he turned to the mirror again, it was covered once more, but not by him. The Ankara cloth was soaked in salt water and palm ash. The mark appears. The next morning, he noticed a mark on his chest. Faint but burned in. A small spiral surrounded by teeth-like lines. He Googled it, tried the books, even asked a babalawo in Ojuelegba. The man stared at the sketch, then quietly said, "That's a rare sign. The mirror spirit that punishes oath breakers. But I didn't take any oath. You moved into a house where one was made and broken. You're inside the curse now." Haunted by glass. Every mirror Samuel passed now seemed to hum. At work, his reflection blinked after him. In a Danfo window, he saw a third eye open on his forehead. At home, he removed every mirror, but the TV screen still caught glimpses. And then came the bleeding. His reflection began to bleed from the eyes whenever he looked at it. And worse, it started to mouth things. "You are the vessel now." He gave himself to buy time. "Yours is up." On Kola's return. One night, he found an old envelope tucked behind the wall socket. Inside, Kola's passport, a SIM card, and a torn note. "If you find this, I'm likely dead." I looked. I always do. The mirror remembers every face that breaks its vow. You must feed it someone else, or it will wear your soul like a mask. I tried to cheat it. I failed. Samuel stared into the glass of his microwave that night. His reflection turned slowly and smiled with Kola's teeth. Determined to end it, Samuel traveled to Iperu. He found Baba Elere's shrine, now abandoned, half swallowed by the forest. But inside, hidden beneath a collapsed statue of Esu, was a staircase leading down. He entered the drowning room, a ritual pool surrounded by mirrors, each one showing a different version of himself. One weeping, one screaming, one rotting. In the center, the original mirror, shimmering, waiting. "Give us another, or drown." Samuel looked at his own reflection, bloated, smiling, holding the spiral seal. He screamed and smashed the glass with his bare hands. Blood, darkness, silence. A few months later, the flat is rented again. The new tenant, a cheerful Unilag student, finds a cracked mirror behind the door. They cover it with a fresh cloth. But every night, the cloth falls off. And from inside the glass, a bloodied reflection of Samuel watches, smiling,